The African continent is ancient and storied. Life began here, as did civilization itself. The arts, sciences and mathematics were birthed on her soil. Ancient Egypt was a cradle of knowledge that shaped the world.
When we think of Africa today, we often imagine tradition, while the rest of the world is roaring into the future, driven by robotics, advanced manufacturing, and artificial intelligence.
The question we must ask ourselves is really quite simple. How does Africa level up?
We have our own type of science. Because of the brain drain and, of course, government economic issues, many academics are overworked. So they are not able to do that kind of earth-breaking research. So if you come up with African indigenous innovations, some journal editors do not understand this kind of African thing. So we need our own type of journals.
I flew out to West Africa to interview one of our brightest scientific minds to find answers to that question. How do we get ahead in science and technology as African people? It was my privilege to gain some insights from head of Department of Mathematics at the University of Ghana. Dr. Chisara is just one of many brilliant minds calling for a renaissance in African science. It's time for Africa to reclaim its legacy as a leader in mathematics, science and technology, ensuring that our innovations are seen, recognized and celebrated.
My name is Chisara Ogbogbo. I'm the head of Department of Mathematics, University of Ghana.
Professor, thanks very much for taking the time. What are some of the challenges that academics in Ghana face in publishing their own original scientific research?
Some of those journals, you publish in them with dollars, some money, some good amount of money. So if you don't have that, you see the way our salaries are down here, it's not a whole lot. And then you are expected to use your salary for 6 months or 3 months to publish one article. So it becomes quite discouraging.
I've been told that African universities and the scientific community are facing issues regarding brain drain, with qualified people being sucked out of the medical profession, the scientific profession, into the US, Canada, Australia. How does that affect research, your science, your department?
Because of the brain drain and, of course, government economic issues, there are not many academics anymore. So the ones who are ground are overworked. So much work, graduate students, undergraduate students. So the lecturers are saddled with a lot of responsibility. So they are not able to do that kind of earth-breaking research that have to do with own innovations and our own type of mathematics, for example.
What about publishing papers in, scientific journals and the literature and that kind of thing? How are things there?
Even the journals out there, journal of this, journal of that, we don't have the ones that are there for our own type of mathematics. So if you come up with something new that some journal editors do not understand this kind of African thing, you may not get published. So there's a need to have journals that are open to innovations, African indigenous innovations. Because the journals we have out there are already prototype of some kind of knowledge that is already in existence. So some of these new things that we want to bring to existence or call attention to from our own culture, there will not be any outlets yet to put out those kind of information. So that would be a barrier to dissemination.
So what you're saying is that we really need our own thing.
We also need our own type of journals to put out innovative studies in our type of science.
Professor, that's very interesting when you speak about our type of science. Now, what exactly do you mean by that?
We have our own type of science. Let me just give you one example. When I was growing up, I was told that my grandmother told me that people can hold up the rain, that there's a technology. She didn't use the word technology, but it's a skill, and it really did happen. I know that if people had occasion, traditional marriage, burial, they would go and give money to those people to make sure that it doesn't rain. I don't know how it goes, but it is true. It is true that there will not be rain, even if it is in the rainy season. The rain will not come on that day. And there are sometimes also, if you that wants to have the occasion is on the wrong side of this guy who holds the rain will not allow you to have that occasion. Even if it is during the dry season, they withdraw rain for you. That's why they have this flag, withdraw rain for you. So that's just an example that there's something about rain making. I don't know whether you've heard that before. It's an African science. I haven't dug into it, but I know it's real.